Hi, this is Jebb, and here I am with my new sewing supplies. And what I have on this side here is these 4 cones of industrial thread, 2 orange, 1 black, 1 kind of denim blue. I also had a white cone, but it's not here, it's on my sewing machine. I'm using it to sew with. And I got those at the industrial sewing machine store that I went to last week up in the garment district here in Montreal. And for the 5 cones of thread, it was like $13 Canadian. So probably under 10 bucks US. So that's the first thing I bought at the first store. And when I was there, the guy that runs the industrial sewing machine sales and repair store, his name is James, he told me about a place, referred me to a store where I could go and get nice denim. The store that James at the industrial sewing machine sales and repair store, the fabric store that he referred me to in Montreal is this place called Les Tissees, and they have specialty cloth, and there's some of their photos there, and this is where they are. They're on up on Avenue Papineau near Saint-Zotique, and you can see on this picture they've got rolls of all their fabric. So I bought a bunch of stuff there. I spent just over $300 there, and I'll show you what I got there. The first thing I got was 2 yards of 3 different colors of denim. So I got black, I got a dark gray, and I got a blue. And they're actually 2 meters each. A meter is 39 inches, whereas a yard is 36 inches. So I got slightly more, but for convenience I call it yards. So I got 6 yards of denim altogether, and it cost me just over $200 Canadian with tax. Without tax, the people up there sell this denim for $29.99 per meter, per yard. So for 2 yards it cost me like 60 bucks. So 3 times 60 is 180, plus the tax was just over $200. And the great thing about this denim is that it is already pre-shrunk. Now why do I mention that? And why am I happy about that? Because normally, if I don't buy pre-shrunk denim, then I have to edge stitch around the whole outside, and then I have to hot wash it in the laundry and hot dry it in the dryer. And that takes time and money. It actually takes a lot of time edge stitching all this stuff, and then it's, you know, a couple hours in the laundry. So, and plus the thread to edge stitch, you know, that costs money. But anyway, I got just over $200 with tax of denim, and this is 11-ounce denim. So that's another nice thing, and it's pre-shrunk. The other thing I bought was I got some rivets. I got some black ones and some lighter ones, and they were $8 a pack. Get 24 at each pack, so it cost me like 16 bucks plus tax. And then the double cap rivet tool cost me 10 bucks and then tax. The other big purchase I made up there was this nice OLFA rotary cutter. It's got a 45mm blade on it, and it's got a squeeze handle on it. You know, when I squeeze this together, that's when it takes the safety cover off the blade so I can use it. And that was $44 and then tax. The other thing that the nice people had up there is they had this Gutermann denim thread. So I got 4 of them, one orange, one kind of gray, blue, and then kind of a tawny colored one. So, and they weren't all that expensive. They were like $3 or $4 each kind of thing. So altogether, for all the supplies I got at that store was $309, plus I'd spent $13 on the industrial thread from the industrial store. So, you know, somewhere around $320, $330 including tax. So I'm really pleased with my supplies purchase. I'm looking forward to using the rivets. I've never done rivets before. Like most of the things that I do here, I've never done them before, right? You know I'm a new sewer, right? And that, so that's what I got. So that's the first part of this video, and I wanted to show you that. The other part of this video is this outseam. I'm going to sew this outseam on the sewing machine here right away in a minute. I'd already done the other side in the last video, so I'm doing this this one where, well, I had done the outside, the outseam on the other side, and the inseam of both legs in the last video or so. And today I'm going to start out videoing sewing that up, and we'll see how I make out there. I'm pretty sure it'll be pretty successful. I've had a little bit of practice, and so I'm going to get that done. So that's what this video is about today. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, then by all means watch and enjoy. Please subscribe and like, I'd really appreciate it. And I hope you're having fun with your projects and your learning. And remember, have fun, stay safe, and watch a video, and hopefully we'll get through this video together, and we'll meet at the other end. Enjoy. Okay, here I am over at the sewing machine, and I'm going to start at the top, up near where the waistband will be. I've pinned back this pocket so it stays out of my way, and I've got a 1/2 inch seam allowance. You can see the clips on there, and so that's what I'm going to sew down, and all the way to the bottom hem. So it shouldn't take me too long, and I'm looking forward to this. I didn't do any sewing yesterday. I was out and about, busy doing other stuff. The other thing of note is that my computer seems to be working really okay these days. It's working as intended, so so I should have no problem uploading this video and editing it and get it posted so you can see and hear this. But anyway, I'll get started having my fun here. And I do want to confirm or reconfirm that I am starting at the top by the waistband, and I'll be sewing down towards the hem. So I'll get that lined up and get the foot down, and I'll do a forward tack and then a small back tack. There. There. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim half this seam allowance here. I'm going to take about half of it off, and then I'll be folding over the other part of the seam allowance to close that up, to lock that up so it doesn't fray or come apart later. So that's what I'm about to do. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to go all the way up like that, and then I'll be folding it over once I've got this cut off to lock it up so that it won't fray or come apart. Here I am at the end of this video, right at the bottom of the pant legs, and I'm just going to even off the bottom hems to the pant legs. This is as far as I'm going to go with this pair of jeans that I made out of denim, and there were a lot of errors on these jeans, and I've learned a lot from making those errors. But at this point I'm not going to continue putting the waistband and the belt loops on. I may do that after the fact or as an aside, but I'm not going to make it a priority for this week. I am going to cut some more muslin and get started on making a very accurate pair of muslin jeans. Use the experience that I've gained in these last few number of weeks, few months, and put it to good use, making a viable pair of muslin pants. And there will be some deficiencies in them. I'm looking at the first pair of pants that I ever made. So, moving into the muslin pants now, I'm only going to be moving into the second and third pair of trousers that I've ever made in my whole life as a new sewist. So I'm really encouraged by what I've learned. I've really enjoyed the journey this far, and certainly it is picking up direction and starting to move upward as far as pants production for me is concerned. So I'm just going to trim the bottom of these pant legs and then store them away, maybe hang them up or whatever, and get going cutting some muslin and developing a pair of pants with that. So once again, thanks for watching. Hope this has been helpful to you, and I'm glad that you stopped by. Please subscribe and like. I'd really appreciate the help. Have fun with your projects, your sewing and other art projects, and above all, stay safe, have fun, and we'll chat soon. Adios, amigos.